Hey! You are listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Got to take care of a few things before we jump into this week's episode. First, our Ramping Isometrics for BJJ program. It is a 12-week program, all laid out for you. It's going to help you build strength and cardio in the fastest, safest, and most convenient way possible. This is how James and I have been training for the past year, and we love it. So we put this program together so you can just follow along, and we are certain you will see and feel the benefits that we do. It's only $15. Just go to grumpyguybjj.com, click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll find it. Next, R3. This is our K2 D3 supplement. It is a combination of those two vitamins, D3 and K2. These are two vitamins that James and I have been taking for a long time that really help us recover from hard training sessions. And for only $15 with free shipping, you get a whole month's supply. I was going to pull up some studies explaining the benefits of D3 and K2, but I'm not going to insult your intelligence and pretend to be a fucking scientist. I take it. It helps me recover. That's it. So for $15, check it out. And last but certainly not least, we have partnered up with Jiu-Jitsu.com. They have a ton of awesome BJJ instructionals, and they have hooked us up with a discount code for our listeners. It's Grumpy10. So what you got to do is you go to Jiu-Jitsu.com, which is DIGITSU.com. Find the instructionals you want, throw them in a shopping cart. In the little discount code box, you type in Grumpy10, which is just GRUMPY and the number 10. 10. That's it. No spaces. Boom. You get 10% off. You're up and running. They got a nice app you can download on your phone. That way you can take your instructionals right to the gym with you, watch the technique, drill it. It's a pretty sweet setup. So once again, DIGITSU.com. Discount code Grumpy10, GRUMPY10. Simple as that. To find all this stuff I just got done talking about, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com. Click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. There, you'll subscribe to our newsletter for podcast updates. You'll find links for the Ramping ISOs program, the R3 recovery supplement, and then under the programs and products tab, you'll find a link to Jiu-Jitsu.com. And let's be honest, if you guys can't figure out how to navigate a website by now, there's nothing I can do to help you. So quit fucking around, check it out, train hard, and let's get into this week's episode. And boom. Here we go.
Yes. Back again.
Back once again.
For the bi-monthly. The fortnightly.
Is that every fortnight?
It's fortnightly.
The fortnightly podcast?
Fortnightly podcast. I like that. Yeah, I think we've discussed fortnight before. So it's not a game. It refers to a period of 2 weeks. That's how most people know it is as a game.
Yeah, because that was our debate to where when I said we got into a discussion of the term bi-weekly.
That's right.
Whether that was every other week or twice a week.
Yeah, and then we looked it up, and it seems like the definition had just given in to people's misunderstanding of the term and included both. Yep. Somehow. It can mean either one, which seems nice of them. But, fortnight. It's one of those words I wish that we use more. It just sounds cool.
It's definitely an old-timey word.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So, I think that this occlusion training thing's kind of gay. My arm is still like pumped and soft. I'm like, only some gym boy would want soft, pumped up muscles.
It's good for the social medias.
It is. It is.
I think that's probably where it came from. I don't know the history of occlusion training. We should provide a little context here. So I show up this morning here at James's house, and he's out in the garage doing curls and tricep extensions. That's all I saw. I don't know what else he was. Oh, there was some horse stance exercises involved.
Yep.
And so I asked him, he's like, hey, have you ever done occlusion training? And I showed him how to tie his arm off with a rubber band like you're about to shoot some heroin. And then get a good pump.
Yeah.
And it works.
It works, man.
And
it's weird, though, man.
It's a weird pump.
Like, my muscle looked weird. It looked like something was wrong with it. Like, it was swollen. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't... and
there was this visible difference. Like, it's gone down now. But when you just... Right afterwards, immediately, just looking at you, It
looked like it was swollen. Like somebody taking a baseball bat and beating it.
Yeah.
You know, not like it was like dense. It was weird, man. It was it took me a second to realize, like, yeah, you're right, it is bigger. And then I'm like grabbing it, and it's like, there's like an eighth of an inch of just like, I'm like, what the fuck, man? And so yeah, I'll have to do a little research on it and find out like what the benefits are. Because if it's just like muscle growth, then whatever.
It's good for rehab purposes,
yeah,
for my understanding, and it's not real commonplace yet in the rehab world.
So how would it be good for something that is not commonplace then?
But because I don't.
I know isometrics are too, but I'm just wondering how that.
Well, they haven't adopted it yet.
Yeah.
But in my
is that where it started, or like?
I'm not sure where it started.
Where it got popular, or what?
No, I don't think.
So why do you say it's for rehab purposes?
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Is where it's good in the rehab world. Like, for example, like, so you get knee surgery, like your muscle atrophies really quickly, but you can't do a lot of real strenuous exercise to build that muscle back up, because you got to let the injury, the insult to the area heal.
Right.
And so if you can do some occlusion training and stimulate some more muscle growth before you can really stress the area, it can be a good way to get that muscle developed and back to strength before you can really stress the area.
Yeah.
Because, but again, it's newer. I mean, again, I don't know the history of it, so there's not a lot of. But I think that's where it's big.
Ultimate Warrior fucking used it successfully. He fucking cranked those. He had his armbands, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Ultimate there. Where the occlusion band goes, man. I bet he cranked those things up a little tight, did some curls before he ran out.
I think that's probably the two biggest benefits to the occlusion training. One, it could be used in rehab purposes. Two, if you're trying to get pumped for the gram.
For your fucking entry into the ring for WrestleMania.
For the entry into the ring or the gram.
The gram, yeah.
So...
Yeah, my understanding is it has more to do with the muscle growth. I mean, I'm sure that I was thinking about it outside while I was smoking a bowl, because I was like, this is weird. What's the point of it besides muscle growth? And I think there's some stimulation, obviously, of like blood flow, which gets some of the bad stuff out and good stuff in. And so, but that's a lot of, you can do that through breathing and through cold and hot exposure as well. And so like that vascular fitness thing where you're purposefully flushing more blood into an area, there's other ways to do it that have other physiological benefits. So if the only thing that it does besides muscle growth is it gets blood in and stuff like that, and it's like, you just don't want to do breathing and cold showers and shit like that, where you're a pussy, then that's fine, but it's but yeah, it's a weird deal, and I need to look into it more to figure out
I think
what all the benefits are.
Yeah, I don't know all the physiological benefits.
But if that's what it is, if it's just like, man, this is great for getting a pump at the gym, and then taking a picture for the gram, that's retarded.
Nah, I think that is a stupid thing, just because I fucking hate social media. But I think could be used, if you use it properly, for rehab purposes, to get that muscle to grow.
Yeah.
Sooner, without stressing the area a whole lot. So that's where I see it being beneficial. And I've watched quite a few videos from physical therapists and rehabs after surgeries, and read articles about it.
Yeah.
And there's some guys out there that really promote it, because it's. But again, it's not super common yet.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'd see it happen for rehab purposes too, just that flushing effect.
Yep.
Because you got that damaged tissue and stressed area, and the more you can get the bad stuff out and good stuff in, the faster it's going to heal. Mm-hmm. So, because yeah, I think that's so for rehab.
But if you want to go to the grocery store in a tank top and you want to get a pump before you go. Fucking wrap a banner on your arms, do some curls real quick, and jump in the car and drive real fast.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like, where do you draw the line? Because I'm out there doing curls, right? It's like curls for the girls, man. I'm getting a pump. It's like, all right, cool. So, where do you draw that line? And so I guess I'm just being judgmental.
That's right.
On that line. But, because I have realized that, man, we threw some good stuff out with the whole cleaning house of bodybuilding stuff. Things like lateral raises and front raises, like, that was good old-fashioned leverage-based training. Mm-hmm. That's not isolation exercises for the delts that are just non-functional. It's like it's building a very functional form of strength that you need, like even curls and all that stuff. I mean, you're having to form that isometric platform with your body in order to do them. And so like there's a lot of benefit besides just giving you good looking arms and shredding your delts for your tank top, man. So if you get your delts wider, it makes your waist look smaller, bro. Lat spread is very important. That's right. That's why you want to do wide grip lat pull downs, because you want to get the outside of the lats to get them to grow out, right? And you do reverse grip rows to target the middle of the back. And all
for a couple of guys that dog bodybuild a lot, we sure do know. We know a fair amount about it.
Oh fuck yeah, man!
It's funny.
Yeah. No, it's.
And there's nothing wrong with having muscle, man.
No, there's not, and that's what I'm saying. Like there was a lot of good stuff that, and as I think about it, if you do bodybuilding, what was the problem? Is people weren't bodybuilding. Like bodybuilding included the posing,
right?
That like high isometric tension contractions. So a lot of people didn't do that. And that's part of being a bodybuilder. Mm-hmm. And so along with all the other shit they were doing, they had this high tension isometric component.
They did a lot of isometric training.
Yeah. That people didn't do as part of the system.
Right.
Because they were just doing I'm not a bodybuilder, so I don't need to do that because that's just their sport specific shit. But then you look back through a different lens and you realize like, oh, wait a minute, that was actually part of their system. Mm-hmm. And maybe things would be a little different if people had actually used the fucking system. And but I think there was a too heavy emphasis on the just going for muscle growth, and we needed to shake that up to get more functional, quote unquote. But it's gotten a little ridiculous. And now I was reading some article, some lady was on Women's Health posted something about how she gave herself rhabdo doing a kettlebell workout. And there were just so many things in the article that just, it's like, oh my God, you just shake your head, It's just one like the kettlebell in particular, right? It's like, it's just, we did a kettlebell workout. And it's just, you know what I mean? It's become a thing. It's like CrossFit. Mm-hmm. It's like, what does that mean? It's just this ambiguous term that people throw out there that encompasses so much that it means nothing anymore. And people who use it like it means something. You know what I mean? Like, they always laugh at him. It's like, oh, you don't realize this term doesn't mean anything. I'm like, I do kettlebell training. And it's like, oh, you're cute. Right? Like, that's so fucking cute that you are a kettlebell. You do kettlebell training. But, and she's like, oh, I got burned out on kettlebell training. And so I decided to start doing Pilates. And then, I decided to go back and do some kettlebell training. And so I went and was doing like 1 minute intervals of swings. And anyway, she ended up like giving herself fucking rhabdo in her hamstrings. Right? Which again is like, okay, if you're giving yourself rhabdo in your hamstrings, then odds are you're probably doing a lot of that shit wrong. I mean, I would argue that her swings are less than fucking optimal. And she does a very hamstring heavy swing. And I mean, we've talked at length about the fucking kettlebell swing and kind of how bullshit exercise it can be, and how even like a dumbbell, man, like I'm on a dumbbell kick now. I think, I started doing, just because I want to be so fucking contrary, man. I'm so sick of this shit. I started doing dumbbell get downs just as a protest to kettlebell get ups. So I take a dumbbell and I start from standing with the kettlebell over my head, and then I get down and back up, and that's a 1 rep. Instead of starting on the ground and getting up and going back down. So get up is I get up and then go back down. And get down is I go down and then get back up.
Most of the time when I do Turkish get-ups, whether I use like the ram roller or sandbag or mate, whatever, whatever fucking implement I choose to use, I like to start them at the top of the position.
Yeah.
And I make the full cycle 1 rep. Like, so I start at the top and go down.
Technically, that's a different exercise.
And then go back up.
But yeah, I think it's actually a better way to do it.
I count that as 1 rep. Yeah. All the way down and all the way back
up. That's what I do.
But I kind of like starting at the top better. Yeah. I mean, I do it both ways.
But traditionally, like if you're going to go to a kettlebell certification of any sort, you would do a get up. They would show you how to start from the ground and the whole process. And which actually, as I think about it, I haven't done it yet, but I am pretty sure that I could teach somebody how to do a Turkish get-up easier from the standing position down.
I think so.
Than from the ground up.
Yep.
Because you're going from a position that they're familiar with down to an unfamiliar position instead of starting them in a completely unfamiliar position on the floor and trying to get them to move in a way that gets them back up.
Yep.
And so, but anyways, I think it's a better way. But you just see, again, why do we do it the way we do? Because kettlebell certifications say this is the way that we do it. And a Turkish get-up is a kettlebell exercise. And it's just, yeah. So my protest is doing a dumbbell get down as opposite as I can get from it. But yeah, I'm all about dumbbells now, man. I want to get more dumbbells. Dude, like the dumbbell cheek curl, man, that's a close second to the Indian club swings, man. Like honestly. Like 2 dumbbells and doing your, like you would your Indian club swing, but and then catching it. Yeah. Yeah. That's a beautiful exercise. Like that is just like your, for like functional purposes, it's the same thing as your Indian club swing to catch, which is a far superior exercise for just so many reasons. You got narrow feet, and your hands are outside, which is how you do these explosive movements. It's easier to coach. The fact that you can catch the weight at the top and pause so you check and make sure that you're actually doing the movement correctly instead of banging out 10 reps and then going, oh, my back hurts. And yeah, it's so much better than the fucking kettlebell swing. And that the dumbbell cheek curl is right there with it. And then you can go into a fucking shoulder press from there. And so, yeah, like I'd rather do dumbbell cheek curls and stuff. And same thing, I can go to a stagger stance. I can go to a pedal stance as a rider. So my stance is way more functional, because that's really, like when you're trying to talk about sport specificity, it's more about joint angle and how you're applying force. Like that's the context of your sport. What is the joint angle and how are you applying the force? And so from that context, like those movements are fucking way better than your kettlebell swing, because you're not applying explosive movement at that joint angle like that. You're doing it with your legs narrow. And so like if you're trying to kick somebody away from you, they're passing your guard and you're like, get out of here, motherfucker. Boom. You're not coming out like a fucking kettlebell swing. I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out. I guess I could. It'd be like a side kick, but usually I'd kick. Anyways, don't kick people.
You can push them.
Yeah, I'm using a ridiculous example, but
I usually, when it comes to rolling and jiu-jitsu, you and I train together quite a bit. I am not afraid to push. Like like I'll wait till like if you time it, a good push to the chest, whether I use my foot or my hand.
Oh yeah,
like I do it.
Topple you.
I do it a lot.
Yeah,
because people aren't expecting it.
Right,
and it's well within the rule set. I'm not doing a strike. But it's a pretty effective move. I'll catch people off guard quite a bit because I've gotten pretty good at it, and I'll have good setups to my push. To where like I'll either use my foot, or I'll try to like if I can really use my foot to like block your leg that you're gonna post with. But I do it kind of on the sneaky tip. Like I don't want you to know I'm blocking that foot. So maybe I'll just kind of hook it with the top, like hook your shin with the top of my foot.
Yeah.
And just kind of leave it there so you're not really thinking about it, and maybe I just do some other stupid grip shit. Jesus Christ. Do some other stupid grip shit just to kind of distract you.
Yeah.
And then once I got that little post set up, and then I do a good little chest bump.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I've knocked quite a few people over like that. And it pisses people off because it's so stupid. It's like getting pushed over when you're a kid. You're like, how? Like, I'm here. I'm a jiu-jitsu athlete. We're wrestling.
It's like somebody snuck up behind you and fucking blocked your legs, and somebody came and pushed you, and you're like, what the fuck?
I'm supposed to have good base and posture, and somebody just pushed me over.
Yep. Yeah. So,
that's good.
It's an effective technique.
It is.
But, yeah, you're doing more of a dumbbell cheek curl than a kettlebell swing. So, but point is this chick gave herself fucking rhabdo from this kettlebell workout, and she, wrote an article and just giving people the warnings and all that stuff about
Did she really give herself
Apparently she went to the fucking emergency room and got like legitimately diagnosed with it. And again, I don't know what that means, but she said she was peeing fucking
coffee color.
Yep. For a couple days. Went in and they were like, yeah, your whatever levels are elevated means that your muscles breaking down, and So blah blah blah. But yeah, anyways, there was so many things with that fucking article that encapsulated the fitness industry, and I'm like, dude, it is no wonder that people are so confused and so like, there's so many unhealthy people, because the fitness industry is supposed to be in charge of helping these people, and it's filled with fucking idiots. Like, honestly, you got the fucking blind leading the blind on some level. And so it was funny, it was frustrating.
You know what exercise I did yesterday in my workout is just one-sided farmer's walks.
Ooh.
So I did with a 70-pound kettlebell.
Yeah.
Instead of, a lot of times I'll grab both of them.
Right.
It's heavy, so I got 70 pounds in each hand, 140 pounds, and I walk across my cul-de-sac and back. It's good. But I was like, man, you know what I hadn't done? I hadn't done it in ages. It's just one-sided. Dude, that's a tough goddamn exercise. Trying to, 70 was probably too much.
Oh, yeah.
To try to stay upright, because you got to really lean, and you kind of, defeating the purpose of the exercise. But
yeah.
I started. I was like, fuck it. I can make it happen.
Yeah.
So I'd walk across the cul-de-sac with the right hand, set it down, switch, grab the left, and walk. That's a good freaking exercise.
Hell yeah, dude. Loaded carries are one of those. I don't do enough of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was doing yesterday. And then, an uneven loaded carries.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is so beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really need to do more of this.
Yeah, I have them in my programs that I write for people. So they're part of my programming template, like my movement skills that people need to work on. But my own personal workouts, I tend to forget, and then oh yeah, so I'm not as good as I should be about writing out what I'm gonna do. I kind of make things up on the spot, but
That's so what I did yesterday. I was like, I need to get a workout. I was kind of bored. I was like, what do I want to do? I got my tractor tire. So, and I got a bunch of shit at home. I've spent too much money on workout equipment, but
I don't know if that's possible.
Nah,
it's a good investment,
it
man.
is. Hey, so I broke out the battle rope, the tractor tire, and then one-sided farmer carries.
Hell yeah.
Just was fun. I was like, oh, this would be fun.
Dude.
So I was flipping I was out there at 6:45, 7 o'clock yesterday morning before I went to work, flipping the tire up and down my driveway. I had some Lamb of God playing, cranked up on the fucking speaker.
Nice.
My neighbor walks outside, looks at me, just shakes his head, walks back in, carrying the kettlebell across the cul-de-sac. Good times.
Man, that's a good circuit right there.
It is.
Good circuit. But yeah, man, the loaded carries are good. I like the whole, like you said, combining the walks with stuff. So every 20 paces you do a deadlift, and then or suitcase deadlift if you got it on one side. So you end up doing 3 to 5 deadlifts along the way. Man, what's really brutal is doing rack walks and squats. So holding them.
Ooh.
Yeah. So instead of you can hold them on your farmer's walks, and you got your rack walks, and you got your overhead walks, and you got shoulder walks and all those other things. That's basically your 3 levels, like holding it low, shoulder level, or overhead. What's up, Aka?
What's up, Aka? Hi, buddy.
Aka, the trail mud.
He didn't have any water, and he's like, where are they? Where I can hear them. Where are they?
Go get some water, buddy. Go get some water.
How's jog?
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Cool.
A little busy, but
Yeah. It is what it is.
all right. I can
Okay.
come get some water. You're gonna stay in here.
All right, man. Go.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, rack walks.
Yeah, double rack walks or the single, but then throw in a front squat.
Ooh.
So every 20 paces, you do a front squat. That's fucking hard as shit,
I'm
dude.
gonna do some of those next time. I'm gonna do some rack walks. I'll do them one-sided too.
Yeah.
Just go lighter, even just like a 35-pound kettlebell.
Yep.
And I like the idea of throwing the squat in, every 10 or 20 paces, something like that.
Yeah, it breaks it, throwing in that other movement.
Yeah.
Because
you gotta pause, set up, make sure you're good, solid, stance and form, and then boom, hit the squat, and then take it off.
And it's a big movement too, right? Carrying the kettlebell it's hard, but it's a little movement.
A lot of little steps.
Yeah, little steps, and the rest of you's not moving. And then you throw in a squat or a deadlift, and you throw in this big, gross, huge body movement, and then you keep walking. It's a different cardio challenge.
I'm gonna do those next time. That sounds good. I like
that. Yeah, I like those, man. I've been doing those for a bit. I forgot where I came up with those. I may have seen them somewhere or whatever. Sometimes I just make shit up. I'm like, I need to make up a new workout. And I'll just make things up. That's what's funny. People don't realize, like in the fitness media, like I would venture to say that 90+% of the shit that people write about, the programs and the diets and all this stuff, they never actually fucking did for any length of time. I will fucking put money on that.
I could see that.
Yeah. It's just being in it for as long as I've been, like it's not ill-intentioned. If you think about it, you're one person, right? And so if you're really going to give something a fair shot, how long would you say you need to do it?
No, you're saying like a workout program?
Yeah, a workout program or a nutrition thing.
Man, at least a month.
At least a month, right?
At least a month.
So there's, 12 things that you can experiment with in a year? Mm-hmm. And, if your job is to create fitness programs and basically you're on some level, you should aspire to be like a thinker in the industry, and so you're trying to help take the stuff and bring it to a level that somebody out there can use. And so you're like, hey, if you're starting out and you don't have any equipment and you want to do an at-home workout, try this workout. Okay, so like that's a well-intentioned thing. Like, do you think that dude actually did that workout for a month? No. And so yeah, anyways, it's just it's funny, man. Like, I don't think most people realize like how much of that there is in the industry. Like, even back in the fucking old days, I mean, we knew at some point that, you started to realize that, man, those routines of the pros, the bodybuilders, like, that's some made up fucking bullshit. That was some fucking writer coming up with a workout, and then, yeah, like, getting the bodybuilder says, yeah, sure, whatever. But, like, very rarely were you actually getting the routine that the bodybuilder was doing. Like, one, he's like, why would I tell my competitors what I'm doing?
Right.
And, and it's a contest to see who can do more. And so, like, yeah, from the fucking dawn of the fitness media, pretty much, you've had this. And so people just need to keep that shit in mind when they're looking at, online stuff is, people talk a lot about stuff that they may not have necessarily done. And I'm guilty of it. I mean, I got a kettlebell program. It's a 3-month program. Or, you think I fucking did the whole thing before I released it? No. So, but it's based on, like, shit that I have done and, like, principles and methods. And I have the chance to work with clients and stuff. And so there's a way to kind of speed things up that way, because you get to experiment on people. Although I'm sure they wouldn't like hearing it put that way when they're paying you money to get them results. But yeah, man, that's it's funny how many fucking people get paid to advertise a supplement that they don't actually take, and all this shit. People, again, no wonder people are confused, and we have so many fat, out of shape people because we got idiots at the helm of the fitness industry.
Man. The problem is there's just too many goddamn idiots in the world.
Yeah, it's hard to keep them from rising to positions of power. It's really hard.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, man.
Just by virtue of numbers, they're going to permeate everything.
I know.
But, yeah, so, anyways, that's fucking good fitness talk.
Yeah, we started because you
occlusion
jumped right
training,
into
stupid.
Occlusion training. I don't know if it's dumb. It gives you a good pump, man.
I know.
You're short on time, or maybe it's just kind of a recovery day and you still want to get a little pump. Like, it's not all bad.
I guess so. Just some fucking cold training, some breathing, oxygenate your cells.
Seems like it takes longer.
You're not really. You got to take a shower anyways. Well,
not necessarily.
You don't have to take a shower. Right. Some places you have to wear a mask, but you still don't have to take a shower. Maybe the fucking masks help with people that don't take showers. I think it filters out smell. It doesn't filter out coronavirus. Somehow it keeps it from going out, but it doesn't keep it from coming in, which I'm still, whatever. But yeah, if somebody's not taking a bath and they're stinky, you think it helps filter that out?
Could.
Dude, that mouth bra that I got from... It's what it looks like, dude. And it's, yeah. But the one from Jitsmoji has a little... Came in my BJJ box, just so people know I didn't go out and buy it. It has a little like 2 layers and a little thing on the side, and so maybe you could like stuff some like good smelling stuff in there.
That was what they used to do back in the day. You know,
Yeah,
you know those
the plague. Yeah.
plague. Well, you know those stupid masks. Like what's that?
They look like giant, like weird bird
Mask
heads.
kind of.
Yeah.
God, what was that movie where they wore those and they had a bunch of orgies?
The Tom Cruise movie?
Yeah, was Eyes Wide Shut or something.
I guess
like
I've never seen it, but I just know enough about it.
Yeah. So those masks for
Yeah.
people having a hard time picturing it. But that's a
Yeah, that obscure movie. Anyway, sorry. No,
But,
it's not obscure.
But yeah, I believe what they did, that was their idea to protect themselves from the plague and sickness.
Yeah.
And they would stuff basically like potpourri, good smelling shit in the nose of that thing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't understand germs. The germ theory wasn't around yet. But they thought it was the smells that were getting them. So they were close.
Yeah.
They had kind of the right solution, but they didn't really know why. They were
Right.
headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite the bird mask and potpourri that was going to save them from the plague, but
Yeah.
they were headed. But yeah, that was the idea behind it.
That was the idea. So, because and like you said, they thought the smells were what was making them sick. So that was, it would help with the smells.
Help with the smells.
So, all right. But, so, anyways, so yeah, I've been doing the Wim Hof shit, the breathing and the cold stuff.
I still haven't fucking tried it.
It's crazy, man.
I know,
Yeah.
I want to, but just a matter of like time.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, what do we got?
Oh, we got.
Oh, morning, Z.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Pokemon
Good.
update.
Looks like you got a haircut too, bro.
I did.
I like it, man. Looking good.
We did. Got him a haircut. Looking sharp.
Looking sharp, buddy.
And,
I think you should get one like mine, though.
Mm-mm.
No? No?
Mm-mm.
We'll see. I'll talk you into it.
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
No. You like hair?
Mm-mm.
It's I think hair is overrated. What do
Think
you
how
think?
quick your showers would be. You wouldn't have to wash your hair. You just have to use soap on the top of your head, just like the rest of your body.
Yeah,
It
buddy.
would save you like a whole
30 seconds?
30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Okay.
Anyways.
What's up, man? Are you ready?
Mhm.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got going on today?
I'm sharing the Mewtwo and Mew GX tag team. It has 270 hit points. It's a psychic type. Its attacks are perfection, Miraculous Duo GX, and Miraculous Duo GX.
Wow. It's,
Miraculous Duo GX does 200 damage. Nothing down here except for a tag team roll.
yeah. So Mew is the ancient original Pokemon.
Yeah, and then Mewtwo is the second form of Mew.
They took the genes, they found some genetic material from the original Mew, and then they modified it to make it even more powerful, and that's where Mewtwo came from.
So that's why it's called Mewtwo.
2. Got it.
Yeah, and so there
Sweet.
you go. They're the most powerful Pokemon.
And I have both of them in one card.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look at Mewtwo. He's
It's
like,
pretty cool looking. Kind of looks like a cat, sort of, huh?
mm-hmm.
Speaking of cats, I saw a bobcat the other
When?
day, out in the wild the other day.
Oh yeah.
Driving down the
around.
road, ran out in front of me. Huh? Probably like a 30-pound cat. You ever seen a bobcat, Z? They're kind of cool looking, man.
I'm just kind of picturing a wildcat.
Kinda. Yep. That's probably a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
They're pretty big.
Like this. Like with the pointy ears.
Yep. We'll have to show you a picture of it later.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't they have they're the ones with the short tail?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what they're called.
Bob. Well, that's how I remember
Yeah.
them and how they look like. I'm not sure if that's
Yeah.
why they got their name, but it would make sense.
I'm gonna go with it.
Sure.
Cool, man. Anything else? Any stories from this week you want to share? Where do we go?
Oh yeah, we went to Rifle Falls
Oh, did you?
and checked
Yeah.
out all the caves.
Have you been there before?
Yeah, it's been a few years.
Yeah.
It's cool up there. Rifle
It's
Gap
super
and Rifle
cool.
Falls. and
Yeah.
Rifle Falls.
We didn't really go to the Rifle Gap. We just went to the falls and walked around. But yeah, those caves are fucking crazy, man.
Were the falls flowing pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure. This time of year.
Yeah, they were coming down good. But yeah, there was I'm sure you found like that one cave that goes like way back there. it just looks like a little crack, and then you crawl in like, oh, there's another little crack. It just keeps going and going.
Caves freak me out a
little bit, man.
They freak you out a little.
There's definitely some primal things going on
like,
there.
What if there's a bear in here?
Something, man.
Something. I don't know what it is, but
yeah. As a human, you're just really not too comfortable crawling into the bowels of a mountain or the earth. It's just not natural. So.
But if you see other people's footsteps coming out, you know that you're all
They
right.
made it back out.
Yeah.
That's a good way to think about it.
Mm-hmm. But what if something came in right after the last person came in?
Yeah.
Yeah. That could happen too. But yeah, that was fun. And then it's funny, you get there, and when we pull in, there was like a pretty sizable group of, I say kids, fucking late teens, 20-year-olds, whatever. And they're, wet, obviously been swimming. And, we go walking, we find the falls. You see all the rules and regulations when you walk in. You go in and to the falls, and people are walking around. And so I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it must be cool to get in the water.
And then we walk around.
Yeah.
And then when we get out, there's a sign that says no walking or swimming in the lake.
Well, not the lake, but yeah, don't get in the water because it's not a lake. Don't do that to the carpet, man. Stop. Okay. But yeah, as we're leaving after we've been in the water, I noticed a sign, and really what I noticed, there was a path leading along the river that leads away from the falls, and we were walking along that for a second, and then there was a sign that said, don't get in the water, no wading, keep your dogs on a leash and out of the water and all this shit. That was the other thing, like people had dogs there and they were getting in the water swimming, and then we were like, oh, this must just be for here, and then we turned around and we walked back towards the falls, and you could see one of those same signs like sitting there kind of in the area of the falls too, and it's like, so that's like the rules here, period. But man, you don't come across that sign walking up to the falls at first, and there's nothing. They got this big sign that has all these rules and regulations when you walk in, and nothing says anything about don't get in the water or don't swim.
Was that, man? Like I say, it's been a few years since I've been there. Is that like a rule all the time, or is that just like a coronavirus rule? Could you tell?
Man, I mean, it looked like a permanent sign, like a metal sign.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's not just like a new thing.
No. Huh. It was like, help preserve, this state park for future generations. Don't wade in the water, and don't let your dogs get in the water. And part of it was like, why? I don't know. I don't know how many people go there. Maybe there's problems with too many people.
Or something.
But it didn't seem like they were too interested in enforcing it. It's not like there was a ranger out there telling anyone, but it was didn't look like we were causing a whole lot of damage. It's a freaking raging river at the bottom of a falls. Like, it's constantly moving. Like, what are you gonna do to it?
I think it's just a scale thing. So many people eventually. It's kind of like Hanging Lake. You guys have been up to Hanging Lake.
Right? Dude, we haven't. We didn't make it up there before. It just became like it was already a shit show when we first moved here, and it's just continued to become a bigger shit show.
And that was the example I was going to give. Like, that'd be a really cool swimming hole. I'm sure it was way back in the day.
Yeah.
But there's just so many people that go hike that.
Yeah.
That to where if they allowed people to swim in there, it would totally change that landscape.
Yeah.
Us people.
So
screw stuff up, Hansi.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, before we knew that we weren't supposed to,
I was trying to catch fish.
With your hands?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I didn't catch any. Not even close.
They're pretty quick, dude.
They're pretty quick.
And then you're in their element there.
And even when they're not, like when you think they're close, you gotta figure out how to compensate for the refraction on the surface of the water, because where you think they are, they're not. They're a little lower or higher. I forget what it is, but it's it's tough to get fish in the water. That's where they live. And no, you're not in your element for sure.
No.
So
unless you have a fishing rod.
Yep.
But yeah, he was jumping in and swimming around.
How was the water? Was it cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
It was pretty cold.
It was, to me, it was freaking ice cold.
Yeah.
I bet.
It was cold, but he was swimming around.
Yeah, what would you do to ice cold water that just kept going, like kept flowing downstream.
What do you mean? What would I do?
Now, what would people do if they go in the water to ice cold water that just keeps flowing? That
I think it's more like just the area around and like the river bottom, like the stuff like they don't want people walking all over.
Oh, he's wondering what, like how we would screw it up. Why they don't want people swim there?
Yeah, it's more the riverbed.
It's the ground.
I mean, bless her heart, as my grandma used to say. But yeah, as a thing about like Shiloh, because they have this like these areas where there's this like river moss or grass, whatever growing, and then there's clear areas, and so you can walk in and out. You don't have to trounce over the moss and stuff that's built up. And had her a couple times. Shiloh just like beelines it over that stuff, and I had to remind her like, hey, like just like the crypto soil out here, man. Like like try not to do that. So yeah, I can see you get enough people up there and they're just not thinking about it and just tromping all over that stuff. It can definitely jack it up. But anyways, we had fun. So beautiful place, and the caves were super cool. And
oh yeah, did you know that my two new friends, Bella and just my two new friends.
Bella and Emma.
Yeah, Bella and Emma were at Rifle Falls a couple days ago.
Cool. Yeah, I did not know that, but that's good to know. Yeah, he's got some new friends. He's got friends all over the neighborhood.
Heck yeah.
Sets out and goes and knocks on doors until he finds somebody who can play. Sometimes he just talks to adults if he catches them in the front yard. So, friendly kid.
If they're parents of the kids, like, I would ask them if they could play or wanted to play.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for the Pokemon update and all that. So,
Do you want to see Wolfie again once you're done with the podcast, Rob?
Yep, I'll check them out.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to do me a favor, dude? Will you take that back out of the kitchen for me?
Oh, sure.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
The wolf spider has survived.
Oops, sorry. Did I complicate things?
No. Things are usually complicated.
I'll close the door.
Thanks, dude.
Things are usually complicated.
That was best.
That's awesome, man. Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So anyways, though, Rifle Falls kind of fell into the Wim Hof thing that I was talking about before, because I used my Wim Hof breathing and just dunked myself all the way in. It wasn't that bad.
No?
No, man.
How long does it take you to do the breathing to prepare yourself before you can do the plunge?
I mean, I just did like 10 breaths.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, not that long. Just kind of like got myself charged up. I've been doing the cold shower, so like I've been kind of practicing the whole idea, because there's like, you got to get yourself charged, and then you kind of, you have control of your vascular system. And so like you can purposefully create tension and kind of close off the arms and the legs and keep the blood flow mainly in the core. And like that's the thing, as long as your core is fine, then you're all right. I mean, your hands and feet can get cold, but they're not gonna get frostbite and shit. It's not that cold. And so once you kind of get things charged up, and then just get in, and there's that initial shock, but you just keep breathing, and then it's really interesting. It's cold, but it's not the same thing. So, and I definitely, like last night, I didn't do a cold shower after training. I was just like so tired by the time I actually took my shower, and man, I slept like shit last night. I was so sore.
So sore. That happens to me all the time. Hard training, like if I hit the point of overtraining,
Yep.
Screws my sleep right up, dude.
And but my take home is like I should have done the cold, because like last weekend I didn't have like the same problems. And so I've been that was like the first non-cold involved shower or whatever I've had in a while. And but it is, you got to mentally take control. It's not an automatic response yet. I'm not just like, oh, cold, hey, it's great. It's a little bit of a process. Yeah, you gotta have a little bit of willpower to put into it. But if you do, you can totally hack the response. And I we were supposed to actually, because we've been building up. Like it starts out like we're in week 5 coming up. Sunday will be week 5, so we're just finishing week 4 of the fundamentals course. And this week we started doing the power breathing. Did I tell you about the power breathing?
I don't think so.
So you do 60, like it's quick, like,
Okay.
and like you get your breathing and then you double time it and you do 60 and then you inhale and hold and then you just squeeze all the blood and everything up to the brain and hold. And we're doing that twice. And then we do the regular breathing twice after that, where you do the 30, just fully in, let it go, fully in, let it go. And so you do 30 of those, and then you end with the exhale and breath hold after that. And then, so it's a little different than just the regular one, man. I like the power breathing. Like, it fucking charges you up, man. But we're building up with the cold shower. We started out with, take your warm shower and then do 30 seconds at the end of your shower. And then week 2 was a minute. And, we built up to 2 minutes. And then this last week we were supposed to start with 30 seconds cold and then do your warm shower and then finish off with 2 minutes cold. And man, I get in and man, by the time 30 seconds passes, I'm just like,
it's not really a thing.
This is fine. Like I really, turning it up would be nice, but I don't really need it. I'm not sitting there just like counting down the 30 seconds. And it's like, so I've just been doing cold showers, just straight up cold showers for this past week. And, but yeah, I did cold showers before and it was a completely different experience where I was just like, all right, come on. Sometimes I get music playing to get me fucking pumped up to get in there and just like,
tough through it.
Yeah, tough through it. And, so yeah, I got to get my breathing, and it's definitely gotten better. Like at first I had to keep my breathing going the whole time. And now I keep my breathing going and I can feel when I've got control of it. And then I can kind of go back to a little bit more normal breathing. And then if I start to get like cold and start to lose it a little bit, I'll go back to my, my Wim Hof breathing for, 10 breaths or so. But it's, man, it's really fucking interesting stuff. I'm a believer for sure. I don't really see myself not doing this stuff anytime soon. So the breathing's fucking awesome, man.
I gotta get on board. I keep saying that. I just gotta do it.
Like this morning, man, I woke up and I was sore, and my fucking lower back was a little sore, and then we did our breathing before you came over, and man, I get up off the mat and it's just like, fuck, man, like it feels like you did a hot yoga session. And you're just like, you feel good, and you feel like you've done more than just breathing. Like your body feels like good and ready to go. So I stood up and I mentally made a note because there was such a marked difference between how I felt when I laid down to do the breathing, and then when I got up, I was like, holy shit, man, my back doesn't hurt at all. Like I feel fucking good. That's why I was doing my horse stance and my curls and shit when you pulled up, because I was feeling good. So yeah. And I feel like I don't have to sleep as much. I feel like my sleep quality is better. I don't have to sleep as much. I'm not needing, I still need a nap every now and then, like, a couple days a week, but it's way easier for me to just make it through a day without needing a nap. And yeah, I attributed all the breathing and the cold, like the two together. Like you do the breathing and then you do the cold, and both of them are like this, this charge. And so you got these two things going on throughout your day that definitely make a difference. So yeah, you got to do it, man.
I just got to do it.
Yeah, you just have to do it. You just got to jump in and do it, knowing it's just like jiu-jitsu, man. You're going to be a white belt and you're going to fuck up and nobody expects anything from you. But you'll definitely, I'd be shocked if you didn't come away from your first time doing it like the fires of curiosity would be stoked.
Okay.
So you just got to, it's like that first one. You just got to get to that first one. And man, I guarantee you that you'll be like, oh, okay. I'm very curious to see where this rabbit hole leads. So yeah, like I said, I'm a believer, man. I recommend it. I think it's got a lot of and the thing with him is he's got the science to back it up too, right? Like he's got universities that have studied his method. He's got the famous one where him and the group that he trained were injected with, I think it was like E. coli bacteria, basically something that your body will have a response to, similar to getting the flu.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, they injected his group and then like a control group. And, the people that he trained, one, they did him originally, and he had a much lower response. Like he barely even got sick at all from it, like almost nothing compared to the average response. But it was like, well, can you replicate this? Are you an anomaly? Right. And so, yeah, he took a group that he trained and they tested and they had very similar results. And again, like, statistically significant with them having a lowered response to this bacteria than the other group, which basically shows that they were able to control their immune response to this bacteria, which is something that technically you're not supposed to be able to do. Like you're not supposed to be able to control your immune system. You're not supposed to be able to control your hormonal system. Like
he proved he can do it.
Yep.
Not only with himself,
but with other people. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
And so, yeah, like when he talks about this stuff, like I said, it's Wim Hof, man. There's definitely this like, guru-y type thing going on, which I think he's definitely earned that title. A lot of people it's not always a bad title to have. If you've earned it and you handle it well, it's a great title. But he's always backing it up with like, yeah, this study, showed this, or this is the response that we're taking advantage of, or this is what's going on. So it makes you feel a little bit better as a, analytical, science-minded person doing it, because there is more than just aligning your chakras going on. So, but I think there's some of that going on too. Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll pull the trigger.
15 minutes, man. It's 15 minutes a day. It will make a world of difference. And then you're already taking a shower. So it's just a matter of turning it to cold at the end of the shower to start. But definitely watch the videos. His app is the free app that he's got. Has got a lot of good info. I mean, you can find it on his site as well. But he's got the little mini course. Mm-hmm. I'd highly recommend watching that mini course.
Okay.
Before you start doing it. So he's got one on the breathing and then one on the cold shower. And the third one's on the mindset, which is interesting. It's like the mindset, it comes along with the other two, like the focus, right? Because you're not going to do the breathing and you're not going to do the cold training if you're not also training your mind and your focus. And so he counts those. That's the three pillars of his system: is the breathing, the cold, and then the mental focus side of it. And but yeah, he explains a little bit more about that. So
that's where to start.
Yep.
The mini course.
Yep. Those three little videos there.
Cool.
And then the bubble breathing app. Just let them lead you through it, and just do it. Just do it, my friend. He's done the studies. He's funny, man. He gets these little...
He's a funny dude.
He is a character, but...
That's probably the best way to say it. He is a character.
Yeah. I like, though, he, as part of the fundamentals program, you get the audio of him leading you through your breathing homework for that week. So it's like Wim leading you through. And then the last 2 weeks, in this, last week and this week, he gets you going on the breathing. And then, he leads you through the power breathing, and then he gets you going on like your regular breathing. And he's like, all right, do your 2 rounds, you know what to do, go with the flow. And then he picks up his fucking guitar and starts playing. And he's got like a song that he sings that goes along with that week's theme, about how we're going deep to fight inflammation and all this shit. And it's fucking funny, man.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, but you can see he's definitely got that, why people... like him. He's a
kind of hard not to like.
Yeah, he's just he's a fucking funny, goofy guy, but he's he's definitely hacked into something very interesting. So yeah, I'm a believer. I'll be doing it. So Keela and I have been doing it together. It's actually pretty fun to do with someone else.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a different energy. You know, at first you're a little self-conscious, but you know that goes away pretty quickly, and then. But yeah, like having other people in the room versus doing it by yourself. Doing it by yourself is great, but there's definitely a little something different.
Can I teach my dog how to do it?
Probably.
Frank do the Wim Hof.
Aka hangs out with me while we do it. Yeah, I think it's required from what I can tell from the fundamentals course because he has a dog that's in the videos and stuff, and basically does what Aka does during our podcast. And so I think you have to have a dog for the breathing to work. Like that's my takeaway from
I can see that.
the course is because the dog is there. So but they also have a big metal gong that I don't have.
Damn it.
Yeah. No, I recommend it. Yeah, if people are listening to this and you haven't tried it, it's one of those things. If you've done breathing and meditation and stuff, it's real easy, or done the cold showers. It's real easy to dismiss, thinking you kind of know what it's about, and it's like no, you don't. You don't have any idea what it's about. Your previous experience is not going to really help you understand what this specific way of doing it together, how it goes together. And I'll fully admit, man, everybody's different, right? So maybe I'm a super responder to this shit. So, but
has Keely had the same response you've had?
She's not the exact same. I've got to be honest, man, mine's been pretty fucking profound. I mean, as you can tell from my enthusiasm for it. Like, so like I'm, you know, when I stopped timing them, but when I was timing my breath holds, like I was getting over 3 minutes. And like I said, my experience with the cold shower, like, man, I feel physically and mentally different. I feel noticeably calmer. And it's noticeable. And I mean, and it's changing your internal chemistry. Again, it's like there's science behind it, right? Like the breathing changes your body's pH. It makes you less acidic. And, you know, if your body's in an acidic environment, like that's going to affect you physically and mentally and emotionally. There's just no way it's not. Like you're affected by your internal environment. And so if you are changing your internal environment and moving it in a positive direction, like it makes sense that it would have an effect on your mood and your mindset and stuff like that. So, but she's had good results from it. Like I said, she's laughed at me like, you know, it hasn't been exactly like mine, but what are we in week 4 now? Like this has been her best week so far. Like she's really starting to feel it more now.
When you say best week as far as the way she feels after doing it?
Yeah. Just like she's felt like good doing it, but you know, she's talking to me and I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking buzzing. I'm doing this. I'm just like, you know, I mean, I'm definitely in a different mental and physical state when I'm doing this shit. I mean, there's fucking, it's like being on drugs, dude. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you'll appreciate it. And you know, so she's hearing me talk about it, and then how the cold showers aren't bothering me and all this other shit. And so she's looking at her results, which she has, but they're not this. Mm-hmm. And so there was kind of that, like, oh man, I'm not getting these great results like you are. But I'm like, dude, look at you. You're getting your breath holds over 2 minutes. Like that's not nothing. Mm-hmm. And you know, you're doing the cold showers. Like it's happening. So you're making progress. And but yeah, this week it seems like, at least like in talking to her and getting feedback from her, it seems like some things have clicked as far as the breathing and helping her go deeper with it. And, you know, so I'm not really sure with the cold. She may still be with, you know, wherever she is with that. But she's still doing it. So, but yeah, so it may take a few weeks to kind of get, but I think that a lot of it has to do with how much breath work and meditation and shit I've done. Mm-hmm. I've been really consistent with it for the last few years. And so this isn't my first rodeo when it comes to breathing. And so I think I was able to kind of get ahead of the curve a little bit and start tapping into the deep stuff faster than normal, just because I just needed to learn how to use what I already had differently rather than learn how to fucking breathe in the first place.
Gotcha.
So
that makes sense. You had a little bit of a foundation, or you had experimented with different, like the systema breathing, and then just meditation and this and that.
Yeah.
So this wasn't your first foray into breathing exercises, so I can see that.
Yeah, and Kieli's done some, but she definitely has not done the amount that I have and been as consistent with as I have. So, based on my experiment with N of 2. My fucking 2 research subjects, myself being one. That would be my hypothesis, that it may take a few weeks just if you don't have good breathing mechanics and breathing awareness and just the ability to lay there and not do anything. Like, you're just laying there. It's kind of like meditation.
Yeah, it's not one of my strong suits.
Right. Like, if you're not used to it, and it may take your brain and body a little bit to relax and just be like, okay, I can just sit here for a minute. Like, I don't always have to be fucking moving and doing shit. So, but all of it's good, man. All of it's good. I think that no matter where you're starting, may take you're going to notice results from it one way or another. Just how fast and all those other things will be a little different. I mean, I told you about my buddy Mark, who's, anyways, I don't know how to break it to him that I think I figured out. I think I told you, he says he's getting his breath holds up to like 9 minutes, but I was like laying there and not moving and doing anything versus like what he's doing is changing positions. So he'll go from like child's pose to turn over on his back to, he'll stand up and do like some, shaking things out and fast and loose stuff. And we were talking last week, and just from my own experimenting, because I'll move too, because a lot of times what you'll feel not is an urge to breathe, but you'll start to feel tightness. And so if you can just like move around a little bit, just open that up and just get rid of that tightness, then that urge to breathe doesn't come on, and so you can go a little bit longer. And so, wiggling and moving and stuff is definitely beneficial, but if you don't watch it, there's just enough like passive air exchange just from you moving. Like, there's just some mechanical movement of the lungs that happens from that. And so I'm pretty sure that he's just getting enough kind of passive air exchange to just keep him going. It's still fucking super impressive,
it's still
man.
Impressive. You just try to sit there for 9 minutes and only take a little...
Yeah, even
inhale or exhale, whatever.
Yeah,
good luck.
Still super impressive, but myself personally, just laying there and just doing the wiggling without like getting into more movement-based stuff. This week we get into the push-ups.
Ooh.
Like,
I'm gonna jump right into that week. Can I just do that?
Sure, man. Well, that's one of the things that they'll have you try is do the Wim Hof breathing and then do a set of push-ups right afterwards. So then you exhale. And then don't breathe, and then you do push-ups.
Okay.
And you will do more push-ups than you normally do without taking a breath.
Huh.
So, yeah, I've tried it once, and yeah, it definitely was, I did it in like the first week or two that I was playing around, like before I'd signed up for the course. And it was, myself, like I suck at push-ups. So for me to get like, 20, 25 push-ups is...
Dude, that's good. Like,
it's
good.
Hard.
Good,
yeah.
Solid push-ups, not bullshit like army, like...
Yeah.
Good full range of push-ups, dude, like, that's not an easy thing.
No,
20 or 30 push-ups, that's quite a few.
Yeah. So, the things you'll read about people, I did, I can do fucking 50 push-ups, and then I did the Wim Hof, and I cranked out 120, and it's like...
whatever.
So, when I did it, I definitely noticed a difference. I did like 25 push-ups, and they were... just markedly easier than normal. And you're not breathing the whole time. And then you get done, and I still didn't feel like I needed to take a breath. And so, yeah, there's some... that's what we're getting into this week. The push-ups will be part of it. So we'll see how that goes. There's all sorts of interesting shit. It's got us doing horse stance as part of our homework.
Yes.
Said to build up to an hour.
I don't have an hour just to sit around and fucking horse stance.
I know.
That's not happening.
That is such a fucking guru thing to say. Like, I live in the woods of Norway.
An hour of horse stance every day.
Nothing else to do. So I do an hour of horse stance every day. It's, but I've been doing it. We were talking about it, man. We both had traditional martial arts backgrounds. You a little more than me. But horse stance is part of those karate, taekwondo.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of those more traditional martial arts, using them as punishment or part of the warm up with your punches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. So, But I haven't done them in forever because they're one of those things that you're just like, horse stance, whatever. And so I started doing them because Wim said to do them. And I'm like, fuck, dude, horse stance is great.
I remember seeing videos of him and his group that he was teaching one time out in the snow in their shorts, barefoot, he had everybody doing horse stance, throwing punches.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, get your groin fired up, and all this stuff. But, so I'm going to be doing horse stance now as part of my routine. You can definitely feel your hips.
Yeah.
Like, you hold that for a while, not just get down there, like, hold it for as long as you can, like a good isometric exercise. And
I haven't tried to hold a good old-fashioned horse stance in quite some time.
Dude, try to do it for 5 minutes.
I'm sure it's not fun.
It's not easy, man. And and then when you get done, though, like, where you feel, you get up and you're like, fuck, man, that's great. Like, my hips, like, where you feel that working is exactly where you want to feel things working. And it's, so I'm going to be incorporating that into might have us do some horse stance today in we should. The workout. Yeah.
We definitely should.
Yeah. We should start looking at, I'm going to bring small clay pots so that we can do the fucking lateral hold.
Yes.
We're going to just get all kung fu.
Kung fu like.
But man, they knew it was up. A lot of that shit was isometric training.
Yep.
I mean, that's the deal, man. When you look back at it, isometric training's been part of physical culture for as long as man's had a physical culture. So
they just didn't call it that. It was just training.
It was just training. Yeah. But it never made sense, right? You'd see like why is kung fu and martial, karate and these things that are so dynamic, and you see them, and they got their punching and kicking and all that shit, but they have these isometric exercises, and as a kid you're thinking like, oh, they're just fucking bored and didn't have anything else to do. Like that's we can do squats and deadlifts, and this is all way more effective than fucking horse stance and holding clay pots, And then you get older and you realize, God damn it, they were onto something. They have enough dynamic training. They needed some isometric training to balance those things out, and instinctively they knew that, and they were incorporating that shit in. And so, do some isometrics, people. Isometrics and Wim Hof breathing.
On something.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, Kayla said she's noticing her cardio is better. I'm pretty sure my cardio is better. I think that's one of the reasons I fucking beat myself up so bad last night is
because you can keep going.
I just kept going. I had to quit, man. I was going for over an hour. I don't know how many rounds I did, and I was like, man, I gotta quit. I know I'm gonna pay for this later, but I felt good the whole time. Had like 3 hard rounds with Kevin, and Callum was in there. Fucking got Trey on his back. We were laughing at him. He's like, because he's down to 180. And Kevin's like, man, really? Like, man, you still move really well. I was like, man, when you get him on his back, he's a little more like a turtle down there. He just laughed. He's like, you're right. But man, I was trying to, the fuck was I trying to get him with? Oh, I was trying to get the paper cutter choke on him. Dude, he has no fucking neck.
He has no neck.
No neck.
There's no neck. Dude.
It's like, I could not find the goddamn vein to start putting pressure on. Every time I went to put pressure, it was just his face.
He's like a tree stump.
Yeah.
Yeah, from his head to his toes, dude. Everything is just stumpy about him, dude. Like, there's no neck.
Yeah.
No.
God. And I couldn't get it. And I kept I had him in a bad position, man. I mean, you get that fucking arm under and get the collar and then get across and you got him pinned, and it doesn't matter if you got the choke or not. That's still just a terrible position to be fucking stuck in. Mm-hmm. And he's just so patient. He doesn't panic. Mm-hmm.
He's got. You forget too. Like his mat IQ is really high.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he wrestled at a college level.
Yeah.
I mean, that fucking guy's been on the mat since he's been 5 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, no, I know, but it's funny, man. When you roll, because I've been rolling with a lot of white belts. Since we're back to doing some classes at Fruity BJJ. And it's easy to make them do stupid shit with just a little bit of pressure in the right place. And then, you get up against a fucking mat veteran like Trey. It's like, God damn, dude, he's not going to make a mistake. Like, I could not make him open up and make a mistake. And we sat there probably for, fucking 3 minutes probably. I mean, a long time with me just crushing him. Like, come on, man, do something. Do something. Open something up. And he just wouldn't do it. I was like, man, I had to shake his hand at the end of that round. You know, it's like, even though I'm on top and I got the better position, I still felt like on some levels, like he got the fucking better of that round because I couldn't, like, once I got to there, like, I couldn't advance. I couldn't fucking finish anything. I could have, but he would have, if I gave up my position at all, he was going to recover and we would have been back to fighting to pass the guard or something like that. So I was like, that motherfucker, dude. Like, yeah, good job, man. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not panicking is
you know, that's a good thing to talk about too, is because I'll see people use like cross faces just for the fucking point of using a cross face. The idea of using a cross face or like the Teddy Roosevelt or good top pressure is to cause someone to react and make a mistake. Yeah. To create an opportunity. But if you get someone that's really tough and resilient, like you put pressure on and you see that they're not going to make a mistake, do you either just keep putting the pressure on or do you advance?
Yeah, purposeful pressure.
There's a purpose behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's something good to recognize too, because we've trained with people like that. We still train like they'll get into a crossface and just keep cranking it. Like, okay,
where are you going with this? Yeah.
You've got what's the next?
This isn't a fucking self-defense situation at the school, and you're just trying to keep me pinned down so the teacher can show up and take care of the situation. Like, exactly. We're doing jiu-jitsu here. Yeah.
No one's growing at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah, but even when you try, sometimes you have a purpose to your pressure, and they won't fucking take the bait. Mm-hmm. So.
I had to tell Shay the other day, blue belt Shay, that. Yeah. Because I forget what the exact position was, and I'd have to think about it. But I remember I got into where I expected him to pull his arm, like give me his arm. I did like I was side control. I went reverse knee on belly, so kind of like Teddy Roosevelt / kind of reverse knee, and I swung around for the triangle. And I kind of landed in like a S mount-ish type position. Yeah. And instinctually he shoved his arm through for me, and I missed the grip, and he recognized it was there. And so he yanked it back down, and he was very calm and patient enough. Like he wasn't giving that arm up. Yeah. And so I was like, that was good, man. Whether you knew that's exactly what I wanted or this or that, like he just knew. He's like, no matter what, I'll take the abuse. I'm not giving that arm up. Yeah. So.
No, man, that's.
You see when people make the connection and they start making fewer and fewer mistakes.
Yeah, the pattern recognition starts kicking in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's recognizing that one thing. And I was actually talking with a couple of guys after class about that because, I was wrestling with Ken, who's a big dude. And I had him, there was something, man, but it was one of those deals where I had control of, like, his ankle or his knee, and he just didn't recognize that, like, he couldn't turn. Like, he needed to address this one thing. Everything else was free. And he had control, and he kept trying to turn into me, but he just couldn't get his hips to turn because he just had this one little thing blocked, and he just didn't recognize it. And so I was talking to him about it afterwards, about like, man, you gotta, and we've said this so many times, like out of the 1,000 things going on, there's usually one most important thing. Like for that, it was that elbow. It's like, and then you start to recognize, I will take all the other abuse in the world as long as I don't lose this one fight right here. And, then another fight will pop up. But, yeah, it's starting to recognize, like, what those fights are. And that's part of the, white belt Shay could have kept putting pressure on and he would have fucking stuck that arm through. Because, I don't know. I just mean, like, with experience on the mat, it comes that recognition, like, oh, I'm better off taking this abuse here than making it go away for a second and then being in a worse situation. Right. And yeah, like that's such a huge step for people when they make, and when you start seeing that when they're training, that's when they go from being what was it I said this morning? With white belts, it's usually boring or dangerous.
Yeah, there's not a lot in between.
yeah, it's like brand new white belts. That's usually where you're at. They're either like so rowdy they're dangerous, or just so ignorant that they're boring. And so it's when people start to recognize these fights and recognize these patterns. It's like, okay, now you're starting to become...
seeing some things. You're connecting a few dots.
Yeah, now you're starting to become a better training partner for me, which is really the whole purpose of all this. It's the whole reason I put time into you, Shay, was so that you could be a better training partner for me.
Exactly.
So...
Exactly.
Anyways, yeah, no, it's good, man. We've had a couple people. Speaking of which, see old Joe Funk got his blue belt?
I heard. That's awesome.
That is, man. Congratulations to old Joe. I know he listens to us.
Well deserved.
Yeah, very well deserved. Joe's put in a lot of hard time and effort.
And he's becoming more and more of a pain in the ass to wrestle with, so.
Big time, man. Yeah, he used to, I remember knew Joe. His spirit's always high and he's happy to take the ass whipping, but now he's a little more determined and
a little more determined. He's got some more tools.
Yes. Yeah. No, he's definitely more of a pain in the ass to roll with. So, but it's good. Yeah, seeing people progress even through the fucking pandemic because we're unofficial.
So-called pandemic,
exactly. We went pretty much the whole podcast without talking about that shit.
I know. Let's keep it that way, too.
I know.
And we were going to talk about a bunch of the stupid shit. The riots, the protests, the cop got in trouble for doing an excessive amount of Teddy Roosevelt on the back of that guy's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't even get into it. Because I'm in a good mood right now. And because I start talking about it, I'm just going to get pissed off the way the world is. And there's no reason for it.
No, not really. That's kind of where I got with it. But... yeah, hopefully things will get back to somewhat normal. I just know a lot of people are still living in a very weird situation. I mean, jiu-jitsu's still illegal in a lot of places.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Fuck it.
Jiu-jitsu's not a crime.
No, we get to train today, so.
Yeah, we're going to train today, and fuck yeah.
So. Oh, yeah. So we call it a wrap.
I said we call it a wrap, man. Yeah.
No sense of going down a negative.
No, not at all, man. Let's fucking leave it on a positive note. Get out there and do your dumbbell get downs.
That's right.
And isometrics. If you're occlusion curious, look into it. or just do it. Maybe you're into big flabby muscles.
Wim Hof,
man. Yeah.
Do some Wim Hof.
Yeah. Download the app. Like that.
I have the app.
Yeah.
It's downloaded. I've taken that step.
Yeah.
So I just gotta watch the videos and.
It's pretty. There's no.
Start educating myself.
Yeah, you can try it for free. So I mean, there's nothing to.
No roadblocks.
No roadblocks at all to start checking it out and seeing how you feel with it. But yeah, man.
Right.
Next time we have a podcast, you got 2 weeks.
I got
so
2
you
weeks.
got to, even if you wake up Saturday morning before you come over here and you do it, like, yeah, we want to hear a report.
All right.
On what you think.
A Wim Hof experience.
Yeah.
All right, sounds like a deal.
So, all right, well, let's leave it at that.
See you.
Thank you for listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It really does help and will allow us to keep putting out episodes. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, hit us up at grumpyguybjj@gmail.com. Also, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com, and get signed up for podcast updates and get our free BJJ Improvement Starter Kit. That's it for now, so get on the mat, train hard, and talk to you all next week.
With a permanent rep, a hermit now, boom. Doggy stool, foggy, cool, got a froggy outside Molly dude. Melvin, Colin, Daisy Duke, hanging by the lace of their shoes. No trace of the tools, shaped in your face, fuck the rules. Snooze, you lose. One eye always open, in times two, no clue. But soon a brief monsoon might give you a view to choose. Stay tuned, include, won't conclude. To the end is near, beware there's consequences, but what you do